Welcome to Journey Through the Gate, your paranormal portal podcast, as we delve into the many questions and wonders brought on by the supernatural experience. What's on the other side of the gate? Let's find out together. Aboard the Hot Mess Express, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, gatekeepers! What's happening out there? I hope you guys got to take part in some of the things in that video. Those quotes and motivational little bumper sticker sayings that we get in our social media and, in our DMs and all that stuff. Listen, you put that out in the universe and it gives the universe a tool to use to come around and catch you right at that moment or catch somebody else right at that moment. And you never know when that moment's going to be. So why not get as many of them in every day that you can? You know what I mean? We can't do it all the time. We got to catch ourselves. And this week, I've caught myself so many times. I'm certainly not going to sit here tonight and tell you that I got a handle on all of this. But don't overlook the little motivational quote. You know what I mean? So tonight, we are going to talk a little bit about not just cleansing what we see and what we partake in and what we allow in our energy, but how to protect our energy and cleanse our energy right down to the very soul. If you looked in that video that I did in honor of our guest tonight, and we're going to bring her right in here. She's a lovely energy. She's a lovely, lovely person. Oh, Ted, right out the gate. Here's our wonderful gatekeeper, one of our Black Ops mods, Mr. Ted and the Waggy Tails with nothing scary to report is in here throwing us love for honey and catnip. Darling, I'm told I got a double dose tonight. Anything can happen. I suggest you put your seatbelts on. Pretty soon you'll be able to get up and move around the podcast, safely. But until you know what direction and what track we're going to be riding on tonight, all I can say is enjoy the journey. Thank you, my love. Wonderful, our wonderful mods. Everybody throw some bacon to Ted Branston all the way out there. And you want to tell us? I don't want to dox you, honey. I know you put it on here before, but he's way, way, way across the pond from where I am right now. And the fact that we can throw that kind of love and support back and forth to each other and all this good energy using the inner tubes for positive, that just goes to show you we are limitless. And the reason we are limitless is because we have the power. And tonight I have a guest that's going to come in. She's absolutely wonderful. Quick little story. Again, one of the wonderful Bash people. I don't need to say enough good things about the Bash. Ted, again, I love you, darling. Are you throwing bacon at Ted? Because get him some love, people. Thank you so, so much. Welcome, gatekeepers. We're going to say hi to everybody, but I got to get this out because my energy is just going crazy. We're going to have a good time. If you know Dusty Slay, that's one of his things. He's a great comedian, clean. You'll be rolling, I promise you. Free on YouTube. Laughter is part of healing. And our guest is no stranger to that. And I love you all. I'm watching what you're saying. I'm talking at the same time, and I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. But the energy's crazy, and I got the funny honey. So again, a peach. Tonight's beverage is peach orchard, a chamomile, and vanilla. So just threw it all in there with, of course, a good dose of the funny honey. Natural healing tonight's what it's all about. So all those mandalas, all those beautiful colors, the beautiful music from these wonderful, wonderful composers, which will all be in the description. Again, all this beautiful energy in this chat. I highly recommend you participate, throw it out there, get you some. Don't just come in for the bacon, come in for the love and the good energy, because you're going to leave floating on a cloud. Because tonight I have the wonderful Marana Butts. Now, soul healing. What is this? Natural healer. She's a medium. She's an experiencer. She heals not just through coaching, meditation, gives you tools to work with through grief and depression and trauma, PTSD, you name it, body, fibromyalgia, all that kind of stuff. Everything, once the body starts healing, everything starts getting better. We know that's true, and what you put in isn't just food and intake. It's what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you participate in during your day. All that energy gets on us, and we got to find ways to get it off. And my guest tonight is going to help us with that. Now, she also uses other things and brings in many different tools, which we're going to talk about tonight, tarot and healing crystals and herbal and energy and just love and light. And I'm going to bring her in tonight. I don't see her. We may have lost her. I'm going to have to bring her back in. Let's see if she's here. Are you there, darling? There she is.
I am here.
Welcome, you beautiful soul. This is going to be so much fun. I hope you guys, I saw you moving around down there in the little box. I hope you're set. Are you ready to roll?
Yep, I'm ready.
Welcome in. And, please, this chat, everybody welcome her in and tell us a little bit about what you do. I hope you got to see some of the videos, the mandalas and the...
Yes, absolutely. I did. And I thank you so much for having me. And hey, everybody, it's good to see y'all tonight. So
you love her energy already, right? You could just feel it. And that's what's cool, because, the internet, and it's no small thing to say that TV, radio, cell phones, all of this puts out this energy that you can feel the frequency, you can feel the vibe. So we have to counteract that by putting as much positive as possible, I believe. And that's what this show is all about.
And
so welcome, baby. Welcome.
Put out positive energy. With the things I do, I mean, I do tarot and mediumship readings, but right now I'm really focusing on my natural healing abilities. So I am a Reiki master.
Here comes all the love. I don't know if you can see the chat, but they're going to be talking to you. And can you feel this energy?
Yes.
I mean, my gosh, it's phenomenal. I'm telling you, lots of podcasts say we have the best live chat.
Yeah,
I'm a little biased.
Gray.
Huh? I'm a little biased.
Hello, Ted. Hello, Gray. I see a couple of them. I have to go back and forth on my laptop. Did not want to cooperate with me for this because
it's fine. Any way we can get you, sweetie. Any way we can get you. And if you freeze up and you don't come back, go out. If you can hear me, you froze a little bit. So let me see. Go out and come back in. Follow the link. I think you'll be okay. There you go. You're back.
There you go. Sorry.
It's going to go in and out. Don't worry about it. Don't stress it. Just stop. And if you have to go back out and follow the link in again, it happens. We're going to get through this. It's Mercury in retrograde. It's not completely over, is it? I don't know much about that stuff, so I have to ask. But
no, honestly, I forget what date it ends on because I'm trying not to pay attention to them this time around because they have been horrible lately.
I mean, it's just rebuke all that mess because we don't need any more negative stuff. We need to be positive. Now, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I cut you off when you were describing. Please, again, describe what you do for this lovely chat. And I love you all. If I didn't say hi to you, welcome in everybody that's new. Please hit the like. The mods here, we're going to take questions in a little bit, but let's just let's just visit a minute, okay? And then we'll hit a bunch of questions, okay? Here we go.
So on top of mediumship and tarot, I do, I'm a natural born healer. So I'm also a Reiki master, trying to further my education of what I do. And I'm focusing on trauma clients right now. As well as I've got a couple elderly clients who needed some help, one with kidney failure, one with he got very sick after a cancer infusion.
Oh, jeez.
So I've been pretty busy lately with my healing work.
So much sick going around, man. And that's it. That negative, it just feeds off of itself, and it creates more, and it draws in more, and everybody's sad, and everybody's going through so much different depression and lockdowns and money things. That's what that whole video was about. It was basically, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. Everybody's got their own struggle. Some of us are carrying, match and settle, luggage and baggage. And some of us, it's all worn, torn, duct taped and dragging, one wheel broken, but we're dragging it around. We have to let go of that. And that's what this lovely lady does. And she helps you cut right down to the cord, the connections to the soul and the drag on, I would imagine, even bloodline, I mean, it goes back.
Yeah, I do work in every system of the body. The elderly lady who is having kidney failure, I focus specifically on her urinary tract and her adrenal glands. So each person's different, and each, type of sessions are different. I do different types of sessions for different clients. We have long-term sessions for real deep, heavy trauma. And then we just have, if you just need a cleaning and balancing, hey, we can do that in an afternoon.
Right. And I often thought, wouldn't it be lovely? This is just out of nowhere. So tonight, I'm just going to ride the energy. Please forgive me, guys, if we jump around, but this is like getting with Lynn, and some of the other people come in. Our energy just starts shooting around. It starts zinging around the room and ricocheting. And I'm just going to try to catch as much of it as I can, because I'm just a vessel tonight. I'm learning. We all have a little piece of this knowledge, and we all have input on this. And, when we get somebody who is specializing in a more focused area and digs a little deeper and goes next level and really gets down to the root of things, which I believe, we can all do. And I think we make it more complicated than it is. But I think we also are a society, and have become a society of a vast number of people that want instant push button now, and everything else. And, so we've got a mixture of people here. We've got elders and more wise people, because they've been on this earth longer. And then we've got the young ones coming in that are just trying to understand abilities and stuff like that. And, why me? Why is this happening to me? Or why can I do this? And, this is just something else that makes me different. And I think it's more natural, and so if you take the natural approach like you do, you're going to get better results. It's the intent. Am I on the right track here? Is she froze? Did I lose her? See, I'd go on for an hour and talk to a face that's absolutely frozen. I think they're listening. Did you hear anything I said? Where did you lose me, honey?
I missed the second half of that.
Okay. Well, just basically
I do have input on what natural. I did hear.
Natural. Cool. You go ahead.
Yeah. So
we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Here, that's one thing that people don't realize is, with what I do, the natural healing and stuff, chakra balancing is also a big thing. But people don't realize why that's such a big thing. But with you saying everybody has some use of the third eye, a lot of people block that off. So
absolutely,
some people have no idea, how much they have that blocked off until you actually have it worked on and opened up.
Right. And you're also, she sent me some wonderful pictures, and we'll pull those out, and we have slideshow and stuff for you. But one of the wonderful things in there is that chakra and the balance of everything. So from simple grounding, like a lot of us have talked about here on this show, going outside. Of course, it's, it's snow up to your knees. You're not going outside barefoot. But, when you can, it's such an instant feeling of refreshed energy, and they tease us about hugging trees, tree huggers. I never took that as an insult. I was like,
me either.
I'd rather hug a tree than this, jerk, making fun. And people make fun because they don't understand. They're always scared of what they don't understand, because you're always going to have the disbeliever until they have an experience or see someone healed, and can't quite wrap their mind around whatever their journey has to show them, to take them down the road that they're supposed to go down, their path. It's an amazing thing to watch. I've been in the room where people were skeptics and saw something, and you know what I mean? So, and
yes,
I know you went through this in your life.
Yeah, well, at the Awake Fair, my boyfriend went to, after we first started dating, we went to the Awake Fair, and he sat with me that day while I worked. And it wasn't that he was a non-believer, definitely a skeptic, but I think all people have to be skeptical.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think we lost you. Hang in there. How is everybody tonight? Y'all doing good? Hey, Sarah. Hey, JK. Hey, Glenn. We'll just wait for Marana to come in. Here she is.
There we go. Sorry.
No, baby, it's fine. We'll do what we got to do to get through. I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear, and everything else. If it's going in and out, we'll just deal with it. It's all right. Let's keep going.
So I do think people should be skeptical a little bit in our profession. But I forget what my main point was of this now.
It's okay. It's okay. Just welcome. You thought I was kidding when I said Hot Mess Express, right? So, but the thing is because, when they connect with this energy, this is my theory anyway. I could be wrong, but I think the energy just flows. I mean, this is global, man. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. There are people right now all around the world listening to us. We're all reaching out. That energy zinging, zinging, zinging around. We've had people, helping sick animals, and people, coming in feeling, just down and leaving just happy and dancing with the music and stuff like that. It's a powerful thing. And some misuse
I can definitely feel all the energy from this room.
And, we've had lights go. I hope there's nothing, no lights or light bulbs or anything break. Sometimes with Steve Stockton, things fall off his shelves and stuff. But anyway. But all the mischief in this, but it's just an exciting thing, and I love what you're doing. And
and now
going.
I remember Hot Mess brings it back around. So
there we go.
First day my boyfriend went with me to the Awake. He he was skeptical, but he didn't doubt me. But he never actually really had seen healing or tarot done before, and he said by the end of the day he had a whole different opinion of all of it.
So cool. And I mean, many places, top of my head, like the Hoover House with the table tipping and people getting answers from, grandma comes through or something like that. The table's walking across the floor, Marana. It's walking across the floor to show that she no longer has to be in a wheelchair. She had an amputation. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a long, beautiful story. But the gist of it is this spirit, with help from all these guides that gather, because it's such a place of light. It's crazy. We've got to go there. You're going with me. We're going to go to the Hoover House. It's happening. Like, it's already, like the suitcase is already packed. We're doing it this summer sometime. So anyhow, it's an amazing thing that she does this to show the granddaughter that she no longer, now she can walk.
There I am.
You're back? Hang on.
Yep, I'm back.
And here she is.
I think I've been to the Hoover House once before.
Really? Waynesboro? Right outside of Gettysburg?
Oh, no, then it's a different, I went to, there's one in Gettysburg I can't remember the name of now.
Honey, there's a lot in
Gettysburg. Yeah,
oh my God, the Farnsworth. You've got the Dobbins. You've got, oh God, don't get me started in Gettysburg. Yeah, half of my chat just rolled their eyes like, oh my God, don't ask her about Gettysburg. Shit will be ours. But yeah, well, I know you did. Don't you tell me. But anyhow, it's just an amazing thing, and I know we're jumping all over the place, but when you would like to see some of your slides so we can show some of the people what you do, she sent me some wonderful pictures about guides of like gemstones that are connected with your birth date, your astrology sign. Again, not one of my strong suits. I've always, astrology to me was the thing in the back of the newspaper when I was a kid, right underneath the cartoons, and it would have right under Ziggy and maybe a Garfield or Peanuts. And it would have like, I'm a Capricorn. So it would say like, this, embark upon the things you wish to, right. And you're reading and your mind is trying to fit. Well, that kind of vaguely fits if you think about that, your mind, you can put it whatever.
They're so vague though.
I know. So huge, but there's so much to it. There's so much, and it's mathematical, and it's it's so much geometry. It's all kinds of different things. So the alignment, the planets, I think it's fascinating. I've just never been able to wrap my head completely around it. I went down another path, and I think that's important to say tonight, that just because you go down another path, if you're just strictly tarot, if you're just strictly astrology, or you really lean toward gemstones, or you know what, you're just interested in hearing alien stories, and is there different types of alien, or space, or extra dimensional, is there Bigfoot, all these different things, it's still all the paths lead to the same place. It's all connected, every bit of it, the natural healing. But what I love about what you do is it really is about the cleansing of the soul. And it could be past bloodline curses. It could be, repeated life cycle. I don't know what your
I've
word
got
would be.
A family karmic energy client
there
right
it is.
now.
There it is. This is what I mean. Yep.
And well, this is why we're together.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, because I've been involved in that, but by no means does that mean because I was involved in a group. Because, see, that's not the way it works, folks. It's not like it is on TV. And everybody here knows that's ever been out in the field or done a case, or however you approach it for whatever reason. It's not like TV. So, I get a call, my little ability, whatever it may be. People get touched by their guides. They go on a whim in their intent or whatever they're supposed to do. They call me, hey, can you come over? We need some extra energy protection. We're doing a circle. Poor girl needs a cleansing. We're doing a soul cleansing. Can you bring your Native American juju and come on over here and, burn some sage and wave a couple feathers? I'm like, absolutely, I'm there, and you don't know why, and you don't plan for it, but there it is. Here we are. This is how it happens.
Just like how you and I met at the bash.
This is how it happens. And you get there and you see the most incredible, mind-blowing shit you've ever seen in your life. And it wasn't planned. And I mean, I'm in the circle and I'm just, putting protection down. It's beautiful when these things happen, because I've got people that are voodoo. I've got people that are Native American. I've got people that are doing Korean, a mixture with, little Buddhist, this. Yeah, I mean, it was just amazing. And everybody was doing their own thing. Nobody asked anything or had any disrespect for anything anybody else was doing. It was just understood if that person was doing this, there was a good reason for it. Just stay in your lane and handle and that's how it is. And a lot of these things.
Is the best times for energy, because when we all work together, we need every single person, because
so true.
Even those of us who have similar gifts, none of us are exactly the same. So we heal more people by being able to touch more people and doing it together. That's what we're brought here for.
Yeah. And I personally believe we chose to be here at this time. We need as much light in this as we possibly can. And I say this every Sunday, every Monday. We do it with jokes. We do it with funny gifts. We do it with funny, celebrating art and creativity and staying next to source, staying connected to that golden thread that our friend Lynn Monet talks about. And everybody does in their own way. Steve tells it in a Tennessee kind of old lore kind of way, by keeping the stories from his people alive and going around and the missing 411 kind of disappearances in the parks, and where did they go, in the portals, and what, just this big huge world full. But as a Native American, as I got little snippets of it growing up, because of the estrangement of my whole family was just nuts. Don't make me go there, because just trust me, it was nuts. So I got little snippets, from here and there about tradition, and, little things about in the woods when things go silent, and watch where you step, and don't speak of certain things because they hear you. And there was no playing around. There was no question here. There was no, you didn't go, come on, you're pulling my leg. No, you went, okay.
Yes, I grew up actually going to Cherokee powwows, because my dad, now I'm not Cherokee, but my dad was Cherokee. Easy explanation for that. I'm adopted.
Okay.
But he didn't look at me that way. He was my dad. So if you ever hear me say my dad, that's who it is. But he was
That's who it
Cherokee,
is.
and we grew up going to every powwow he could take us to.
It's awesome. So important because it's that connection. We talked on the phone about being drawn. Now I've got a story here, and it might lead into some things here because I love to talk about some of the tools you use, how you use them, what they mean to you, the connection, because it seems to me, just looking at pictures and delving into a little bit about what you do, is that you're one of those people for me that's almost how would I put it? Like a chain that links this piece of chain and this piece of chain together. Another link in the chain, and I didn't mean to sound like, because that can be taken different ways, but it's so important.
You're great. You're fine.
It's so important because it does really connect so many things together. And the people I'm meeting on this, seems like rapidly speeding up course of people being thrown into your life where it goes snap again. What? Snap again.
Right.
A little bit more of, not hearing about the same. Okay, we're way past, do ghosts exist? We're way past,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Afterlife. Is there an afterlife? Energy can't be destroyed. We're way past. Is it possible Bigfoot? Is it possible? What you name your, whiskey? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't denounce anything because what do I know? As far as I know, sharks were cryptid till they gave it a name, right? And studied it and pinked and poked. I don't deny anything.
I don't believe in at all is judgment of other people, because that's not why we're here. We're not here to judge each other. That you judge yourself when this life is over, and that's between you and them.
Yep. And everybody, and we talk all the time on the show about the pebble, the ripples. You're a pebble, you drop the pebble, the ripples, and you don't get to see where they end up. You don't get to see who they touch. The 5 people you meet in heaven. Beautiful book. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I think John Voight did the movie. Beautiful rendition of the book. One of the rare renditions where they actually did the book justice. And it's about those little bump ins to people that meant so much. It impacted their life, that hit that spinning top in their life and just ricocheted off in another direction.
Movie,
which
called
one?
Crash, that does the exact same thing.
All right, I got to see it.
So
get that mod
for the
Crash.
younger ones that might know that one a little better. That one, it's the same thing. It's the ripple effect, and you actually see it all the way out through the end of it.
Wow,
and it's just amazing.
And even to a small degree, butterfly effect, at least the overall idea of it. And it's so true. And we keep hearing this, that the dead, when they come back and they come through and they get their message across. And again, for anybody that's experienced this or read the countless stories, you guys are here. This is an advanced class here, so
right.
We don't have to. They're way past,
Yeah,
I say that we're way past it. So, and when they come over and they give that message, and it's not surprising to me anymore that and I'm going to say it straight out: the murder victim, the suicide person, the trauma exit, people are coming back and going, "Please stop. Please, you're wasting your life looking for that person, or you're wasting your life and your anger and your revenge and your despair and your grief on me, and I want you to live your life." And of course they never say it that clear unless they have a bridge that makes it clear, and therein lies your medium, your connection, your bridge to that. And in some cases they do come through with that message clear.
I actually have a story for you on that one.
Please do. Have at it.
So one of my best friends, him and I have been friends forever. His cousin was murdered. And, he didn't really ask me for any help, but he knows I'm gifted. But he's one of those people that even though he knows I'm gifted, he's still kind of skeptical. The name of the movie that I said for the comments was Crash. Cisco, what was the name of the movie you said?
The one I was saying was The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, which is the one where you wouldn't imagine the people that touched him in his life, and he touched their lives that came through. It shocked him. And of course, the love of his life, because love is the strongest energy there is, period, exclamation point. but it's that one and the ravine. And you said the crash, right, honey?
Okay.
Now, do you know around what year?
And the crash,
was it 2000s? Was it 2000s?
It was early 2000s, I think.
Okay. Okay.
So, but okay,
Please
so
continue.
back to my story. But so about a week after he passed away, his cousin came to me and told me that he needed my help to tell his cousin, which is my best friend, Brian. So he came to me and gave me this list of words, basically. And by that list, I was able to tell the whole story of what happened to him and how. So, and it aligned with everything the police had already found and the family already knew. So they, you know,
as much as you see it, you love to see it, but as much as you see it, that's why we're here. That's why we continue I could talk ghost 24 hours, 7 days a week, at the drop of, and you're just not going to get the same, you might have a similar, but it's just fascinating. It's so, it's just so fascinating.
I've done a couple murder cases and they're hard, but it brings the family that closure, that peace. And when I have those people come to me, they are some of the most persistent to be heard because they want their family at peace.
That's the thing. And we gently tell people, again, grief is your own individual thing. Nobody can tell you how to grieve. Nobody can tell you how long it takes to get over. I just went through this in a very personal thing, very close to the family, yesterday, believe it or not, where I had to go up and tell somebody, for the situation, if you just, what you're doing to yourself is not helping them either. And if you really love and miss them, think of these things in a happy manner and do something. I'm like, what's that person's favorite meal? What's that person's favorite flower? Go buy those flowers, arrange them, play their song, sing it. If you need to cry, cry, but end it with a laugh. End it with the laughter. Put light into the darkness because it lifts you and it lifts them. And I did a study. I don't know if I told you this story. I don't think I did. But for some reason, you need to hear this now. So I'm going to say it because it might be a snap with something you're working on. Who knows? But I have in my book, it tells the story about my dad and World War II veteran, PTSD. Then it was shell shock. Huge, beautiful man. Cross between Michael Madsen for the ladies and Robert Mitchum. This is why he was married 7 times and got away with so much, shenanigans. Let's just leave it there. So he decided to take care of the shell shock and the war thing. Italy, South Africa, need I say more? Truck driver, just like me. And we actually went to the same company, the same barracks, the same everything, same MOS. And I had no idea till after I was in the Army. And I got his paperwork. I got his DD-214, and I found out he was in the same basic and everything else, 40 years apart.
Wow.
Trippy dip, MOS, the same MOS. He was a truck driver like me. Blows my mind. So anyway, the whole family being that seven wives, figure 7 wives. I'm telling you what, terrific athlete, wonderful artist. I mean, he was a sketch artist. He was a guy, think advertising 1960. What's that show, chat that came out? Oh gosh, about the advertising world in New York in the 1960s. It was a big hit, did a lot of seasons. But anyway, the suits looking good. Secretaries got your coffee and you probably had a little thing on the side with them. It was the time. Ladies wore gloves and hats, picture, if you will. So we're in this haunted farmhouse. Oh my gosh. I just got some echo. Did you change anything? Jack, can you hear that? Hang on one second. Let me check my audio here. Click back in. Is that better? Okay, can you hear me? Are we good? Am I 5-5 chat? Okay, I still got it. If you need to click out and click back in, something might have changed. Do you have headphones or no? I'm I'm still hearing it. That's huge. That's huge too. You guys hear that? That's a wicked echo. There we go. We're going to let her go out and come back in. It sounds good. The echo sounds good, Echo. I saw where Chris and Kristen over there at the Dark Horse Paranormal. Hey, guys, if you're listening, and everybody in here, if I didn't get to say hi to you, I love you so much. And mods, if you would drop Marana's links and stuff to her Facebook page and other links that she sent me, mods, that would be great. Let's bring her back in and see if we got rid of that echo. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. That was wicked. Is it working? I don't hear anything. Oh, nope, I'm back. Okay. Let's see if I can do something on my side. I don't know how that happened. This is out of nowhere.
Okay, there we go. I don't know. My headphones aren't working. Is this better or worse?
Let me see. Perfect. So. Mercury. Okay. There you go. Stick it, Mercury. So, yeah. Oh, geez. Spirit, and sometimes the spirits play around too, because they know we're going to notice. We know you know what I mean? They're going to get acknowledged, and it happens. Yep. And I mean, there's a lot of energy going around. It's all good energy, though. I got the sage, I got the incense, we've got all this stuff. I got all my crystals and all this other stuff. But anyway, so here's the zinger part. You can imagine that this man adding alcohol to this situation in a haunted farmhouse that had a very angry, very just erratic, anxiety-filled, revolutionary war soldier ghost that was trying to get attention. Sometimes a floating head, sometimes angry eyes, sometimes full apparitions, sometimes not, just doing things and trying to get attention. So that's feeding off of each other. My dad was extremely violent, prone to outbursts. From what I understand, in other houses too, but not this bad. So I'm looking back now in hindsight and going, one's affecting the other. There was another bad presence in the barn and another one in the cellar, and that's what I can remember. Right. And I'm a little kid, so and other people don't talk about it because that's the world they're still in. So, right. The thing I wanted to say about that is everybody's got their thing about him. Terrible dad, and he left mom, and this is how it affected me. And again, righteously so. They're entitled to all their feelings and hard-earned. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is at one point I realized that everybody's cursing him. I'm going to do something different. Maybe if it's true, and at this point in time, I believe wholeheartedly that we have soul groups and we choose some of the things we're going to go through. Yeah. And we agree to certain things. I'm going to really be a jerk this time, but we have to learn this. Let's see how we get through it. And I figured if I picked him, he did a great job. Right. So who am I to be angry at him or go, oh, woe is me. I didn't have a dad and this affected, we were poor. And my mom was a single mom and I can blame everything and put everything on them. And, all this other stuff. Or I could say, hey, Dad, I'm going to send you happy thoughts and energy. Right. And we're going to try that. I'm going to send you love because I love you for being my father. Thanks for picking strong women. Way to go. Right. And, little things like that. Simple little things. Well, I had seen a medium who was kind of familiar with talking to my mom. And that you get that trail of familiarity and you recognize energy. Yeah. So it flowed a little easier, so with my mother. And at one point in time, I said, hey, Mom, I want to, what about Dad? And right. And his name is like taboo. People won't even speak his name. You have to understand how much this man's hated. When he died, I answered the phone, and his last and the only surviving wife tells me from Greece that he just died, massive heart attack, with a martini in his hand, all this other stuff. Right. Blah, 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 blah. And then I got to tell my whole family. So it was intense, man. And everybody's in the kitchen and I'm breaking the news to all my older siblings. One's on her knees crying, her arms are flying in the air, they're screaming, there's arguing and yelling. I'm telling you, it's intense, right? And I can remember at one point my sister said, the son of a bitch denied me the only thing that I ever wanted, and I'll never get it, and that was to be able to spit on his grave. I mean, I'm talking intense hate. And again, rightfully so. However, poison, toxic, poison. Who you hurting?
Right.
But it does hurt them too. What we're saying tonight, it hurts them too, whether it be the car accident or I didn't get to say what I wanted to say. I'm going to stay back. I'm going to stay back and ask for forgiveness, whatever. Right. So my mom says, oh, okay, never mind. I'll go get him real quick. I'll go down and get him. I jump up and I say to the medium, who burst into laughter, I said, no, don't go down there.
Oh, Mom.
Everybody's laughing, right? Everybody's laughing. And she says, I'll be right back. Just a minute. And the medium is laughing because she can see her like physically almost like reach down to another level, another vibration. Right. That's all it is. They're vibrating at a lower frequency, basically. Yep. So, but she goes down, she almost like lifts him up by the collar. He's coming up like this, like, oh shit, he's really, and he's hanging. The saddest thing, no, he's got his head down. The medium says he can't lift his head. He can't speak. He's vibrating at such a low. And I'm like, oh gosh, that's not cool. You know what? I'm just, again, for what? If we agreed to it, who am I, right? That's all I'm saying. Different way to look at it. Absolutely. So I start sending him happy thoughts and energy along with everybody else. I do it, my dogs, cats, everything else. Do about a year, 18 months of this, whatever. Bump into the medium again. We sit down, having lunch, whatever we're doing. Mom comes through, barreling through, because she's freight train. Where do you think I get it from? And at the end of the message, oh, here comes a man. Describes him. Father figure, but doesn't really feel like a father, maybe an uncle. And at this point, it could have been an uncle, the way she's describing. Right. We speeding through the thing, and she says one thing. She says he's wearing a uniform, Class A. She said, well, she didn't say Class A. She didn't know what kind of uniform. She had no clue about uniforms, but she's describing it to me, and I knew it was a Class A Army uniform, right? Medals, and describes my dad, but he's got his head up. And she says, wait a minute. He's got something to say. And he says, I would not have been a good influence on your boys. Thank you. Done. We're out. Whoa. It made a difference. Yeah. So if we're telling you tonight about grief and we're sticking our nose in your business and we're throwing out some hard-earned wisdom from her vantage point, from my vantage point, from the chat's vantage points, it makes a difference. So if that works, what would be better for you to do for somebody you love? If you have to cry. Nobody's telling you can't do that. You do what you got to do. Plant a tree, go on a trip, do whatever you have to do, but send them good energy. Write a letter. Absolutely.
What people don't realize the most is, I talk to myself regardless, but I also talk because I know spirits can hear me, because I can hear them, but most people don't realize that they're always listening. So, if there's somebody that's with you and you need to tell them something, just tell them, because that can, I believe the same with you do with the vibrational frequencies, but I've seen where people have put their own self in purgatory once they've crossed over, because they isolate themselves at the low vibration because of things they've done here, and they don't feel like they're ready. And I know one guy that had been over 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm past. Now timing there is different than
the
here.
Shuffling. Head down, shuffling. Yep. If you've ever seen the movie Soul, I don't really at this time in my life recommend Disney movies, but this is a DreamWorks, so you can kind of slide it in the back door. Right. But it's called Soul. and they did a fantastic job. And the souls, finding their spark, and it's the
Right.
spark isn't what you think it is. The spark is you. Like
Right.
I said in this video, you have the power. If you could understand, you have the power of the universe within you. This is where your light comes from. This is where your connection to source comes from. Agreed? This is where your connection. We're all connected.
My work, so I pull universal energy by vibrations and colors that I see.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
when I'm replacing energy in your body, I'm either pulling universal energy, which is gold, divine energy, which is purple, or green energy, which is healing, to fix your energy and replace what needs to be replaced after cleansing or cleaning or a balancing or any of that stuff.
Right. And I think it's so wonderful too, with being a Reiki master and everything else. I think that is such an interesting thing to pull energy. We talked a little bit in our conversations about past life regression and going back, and I explained how I understand, because I've been told I was a soldier and a warrior in almost every life I've ever had. And this time I'm supposed to, I believe, come through and just focus on the light. And, I mean, and I did the Army thing. I was doing great. I had zero problems. It came so natural. I was like John freaking Wayne out there. I swear to God, Patton, if you stuck me, I bled OD green. I promise you, it was just the most trouble I ever got into the first 3-4 weeks. The drill sergeant's yelling and called me a maggot and all this other stuff. And I'm just smiling. He was like, quit smiling. I was like, I can't help it. This is awesome. I'm an absolute young batshit crazy anyway.
The funny thing for me when I met Mel,
so weird.
The first thing she looks at me and says to me is, "Oh my God, you have so many knives in your back." But all the knives in my back aren't from just this life. I've been collecting knives in the back for a very long time, and that's one of the cycles that I have to break.
Oh, geez, so hard.
Yeah,
it's so hard. Even though we know these things, we're not talking from this like superior. Hell no, we're right there. Everybody right here is on the same level, saying, this is just where we're at. This is what we understand. And we keep hearing the same things over and over again. And I don't mean in a monotonous way. I mean in a truth in your face way, because it's a truth, because it's true. Strangers met. What did we meet? 30 seconds, 45 seconds. I was like, look, you're coming on the show.
Yep. We met long enough when we were outside that,
that's right.
Aquarius, and you're like, oh, I can read that all over you. So for anybody that can't read it on me, I'm definitely full Aquarius.
Full Aquarius, right. And and the little I know of that, I mean, I couldn't even tell you the traits anymore of a Capricorn. I think I remember creative and all this other stuff. I mean, it kind of fits, but I'm kind of sort of, I think, on the cusp a little bit. It's like nothing really fit for me exactly, because I think it's so weird. It's like, I think this is one of the times where I came out. I was like, I'm going to be really bombastic this time. I think I'm going for, I do everything all at once, Yeah. Oh, and just off the top of my head, just a little show business here. I have to do a mad shout out. If you're listening out there, Mike Harris in Madison, Alabama. Listen, brother, I just love you so much, man. I'm so glad you're doing good. And my son sent a message from an old friend, and they told him I had a podcast, and he got on there, and he was like immediately subscribed and liked it, and he was like blown away, and gave me the best compliment. He said I was a straight up gangster. So thank you, my love. Thank you so much. Best thing I heard all day. I'll take it. Yeah, because it blew him away, and I just straight up gangsta. I love it. So, as for Cisco, baby, there you go. Thank you. I love you. Keep treating those kids right. Keep being an awesome human being and a wonderful man. Glad to hear from you, Mike. I love you, baby. Hang in there. So, thanks, guys, for letting me do that. But man, that's the power of this. You reach out and you don't know who's out there and who's listening and who needs to hear what, and I feel so bad when we talk about grief and we talk about things we're struggling with. We got people in here in constant chronic pain. Most everybody in here understands natural herbs and healing, and there's people in here that understand more about crystals than I'll ever know. I mean, and I'm a gemstone wire sculptor, but again, like I explained, I'll learn about that stone. There's some I really love, like onyx and hematite and malachite, and of course, your basics, your regular quartz crystals, and your amethysts, and your, aquamarines. And we all love different ones, moonstone and things like that. And I think they call to you. Black, my favorite. See, sister.
Yep.
But you know how I found out? My first taste of that was at a powwow, again, walking around. And I don't know if you guys know, but most powwows, the ones run correctly, you have the elders. You're not seeing the elders during the day when everybody's out shopping and doing the rounds, right? They're in the back of the tent being honored as they should be, and sitting and holding like a little mini councils with people, coming to talk to them, and bring them tobacco and bring them a gift, and say thank you, and ask them questions and stuff. And if they see you or get a feeling about somebody, they'll send a runner, and it's usually one of the younger kids or whatever, and they come and get you, and they such and such wants to see you, make sure that you've got an offering and all. And I'm like, whoa, you go back there and you get told you have this, you're going to be this, you're going to do this, and you're like, what? Out of nowhere. And then they can read a little bit of the, yeah, okay, I'm out of here. They throw something at you, like, the reason you don't like your birthstone is it's not your birthstone. The reason you like onyx and hematite, it's your Cherokee birthstones. And that's why you're drawn to them. And that's why you're dripping in them right now. And you're just like blown away, and you're not skeptical. You're just like, you weren't ready for it, to receive it, and things like that happen all the time. But that's when I found out that gemstones really kind of call you.
Yes, they do.
You know what I mean? Do you want to speak a little on that?
Yeah, and losing gemstones. The other day I saw a post on my local Facebook website, and it was a picture of a bag of gemstones that my children and I had given to either a bus driver, a bus aide, or a teacher, because we hand out healing bags of crystals.
Awesome.
And I knew where it came from, but it had fallen out. And the thing with gemstones is sometimes with them choosing you don't need them anymore. They someone else by getting lost.
Yin and yang, baby. Cool. Yeah. So, but we all have our favorites, but keep going.
Yeah, you can put the slides up if you want, because that'll
show. I would love. I put together just a little bit, and beautiful colors, and to understand that a lot of these called out to me, because just to give you guys a visual of something to focus and bring in all your senses at once. Like, just looking at this picture, just breathe in deep through your nose and then out through your mouth, and do that a couple of times and receive this information. And if you can't accept it right now, or it doesn't snap in with your journey right now, put it in your pocket for later, because I guarantee tonight it's got extra energy in it, and there's going to be a lot of good information, especially if you're young and you have abilities you don't know what to do with, or something along those lines. I'm really getting that strong feeling tonight. Please go ahead, sweetie. This is, again, wonderful soul healing, and I found this little thing. It's going beyond your physical. An energetic healing, a powerful and direct impact on your life. This is a deep cleansing that she does. All right. I found this, and I thought this was cool, because I kind of reached out to this spirits. I said, send me something. And this, this quote pops up. So tell me there's not energy on this show. Love is the most healing force in the world. We all know that here in this wonderful chat, right?
Yes.
Nothing goes deeper than love. It heals not only the body, not only the mind, but also the soul. Awesome. Absolutely. Wonderful, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I thought that was perfect for tonight. How perfect is that, right? Gorgeous. And this is your lovely, lovely logo, the Tree of Life. Again, once saying, in many cultures, right? Everything is connected. It's all circular. Yep. And it's, whether you're talking about the circle of life, or the seasons, or, death into birth. birth to death and back around again. The whole thing. It's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Now this is how everything looked when I first met you. At of course, the Gettysburg Bash, and you do terrific shows. Now, where are you based? Tell us a little bit about that. You know, do you go and you do seminars or lectures, or tell us about that?
I'm based out of Martinsburg, and I do in-home or in other people's homes or distance for all of my services except for past life regressions. I don't do that at festivals either. I only do that in person, one-on-one.
Right.
That's the only one that I don't do distance.
For festivals. So when you say distance, tell us a little bit more about that. You do some things on the phone for clients. Is that correct?
Yes. So
some things.
Yes, I can do like readings and stuff I can do online or just over email. The healings, I don't need to actually physically be talking to you to do that. So with a lot of clients, I do that before they wake up in the morning. That way they're most relaxed, most receptive to everything. And when they get up, they've already got that new energy going. I do recommend extra water for hydration because
absolutely
this is a physical detox. Even though it's your energy, it physically detoxes you, which I'm sure some of our viewers know, but maybe not everybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely true. And a lot of people are throwing out their birthstones here. And I'm also interested in how many people do you feel drawn to that birthstone, or do you feel drawn to something else? Because again, I found it fascinating when I found out that the gemstones kind of find you sometimes, and I tell people when they pick something to run their hand just slightly above everything and see if you get a little tingle. And when you start doing little things like that, you really start exercising that extrasensory, and start, honing your gifts a little bit, because everybody's got them in one manifestation or another. Don't you agree?
Yes, I agree. And I absolutely agree with finding gemstones. Tarot cards, I do the same thing.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, any tools that you're going to be working with, it's definitely best to feel of them, because they pick you. We don't pick them. If you pick them, they're not going to work well for you.
And sometimes gifting too, if you don't know what to gift people because of that, perhaps think of, getting a gift card or something from somebody, or getting, giving them a little, like putting a little money in the kitty, and it with small business owners or stuff like that, to say, hey, I'm going to get you a quartz crystal to get you started, because this magnifies other crystals and other gemstones and their properties. Like I said, I don't know much, but I know that. And I think that's so cool. So it kind of gets them started, and then they can go and tell them what we're telling you about the crystal picks you, or the gemstone picks you, and tell them that little thing. And then you're spreading the light and the information a little bit too, and getting them excited, and they can go get their own, and you've left a little credit there for them or whatever, or a gift card or something, so they can get a little amethyst if that's what they're drawn to. Or I love that, because you're spreading it too. But these are lovely. This is one of your tables, right?
Yes, and that's what my starter healing tags normally come with: smoky quartz, rose quartz, selenite, amethyst, and clear quartz. So that's what I like to start people with too. If you want to do something that, those aid in a lot. And the selenite, actually, my children sleep with theirs under their pillow.
Oh, wow.
For years.
I heard howlite works too. Now, white howlite, a lot of times, again, I'll bring up powwows or anything, flea markets or whatever. You'll see things out there that you think are turquoise. And what it says under that, just a little warning here, it'll say real genuine gemstone. Well, it is. It's howlite, because most of the blue dyed stuff you see. So make sure you're getting from a reputable person that backs their stuff, and, if you're not getting a reading on, I mean, I've actually watched people wearing power bracelets and things like that, bumping into things, into people and their stuff. And I don't have the heart to tell them the stuff's plastic.
Right.
Gemstones are going to be cold to the touch. There's so many different things, that can tell you it's a real gemstone. So I've had people buying from eBay and things like that. You can get lucky, but there's this thing going around now where they're doing the resin stones where they grind up stuff,
Oh,
and
geez.
and it looks like a cabochon of, real genuine gemstone. So again, just like with essential oils or anything else, know what you're getting, go to a reputable place that's going to back it up, and everything should be a different price. Rose quartz is not as expensive as, of course, an aquamarine. I mean, it's gemstones are gemstones from a diamond down. But I have a feeling there's not a lot of diamond people here. There's just diamonds have such an ugly energy for me. Why they're calling this the eternal love stone, I have no freaking idea whatsoever. I don't get the blood diamond. It's true. The horror behind.
Yes, yeah.
And there's so much other beautiful, wonderful gemstones with beautiful properties and healing qualities and everything else. And, De Beers, right? It's all a scam, people. It's all, it really, marketing. Exactly, Ted. That's what it is. And then they hold it back and try to make it like it's not rare,
Right.
But if you knew what they went through to get them, and some of the other things, it was the beautiful stone that went around. I love it. It's beautiful to look at. And if you're familiar, I wish I had a piece. I would write ready. I'll show it to you. But it's some people call it the dolphin stone, Lorimar.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It looks like a blue sky with clouds.
Yep.
In some cases. But what they go through to mine that, you know what I mean? So be careful, it absorbs energy. So if it's being taken out of the ground in bad energy with ill intent, you see what I mean? It matters. And so cleanse your stuff when you purchase them, right?
Always cleanse your stones, because you don't know what people set what intentions to those stones before you came near them, because setting intentions to stones, it really isn't a very difficult thing for anybody to do.
There you go. There you go. And so it's fine if you want. I'm seeing more and more of it, and you love to see it. People having wedding bands now. It started happening a while ago with different stones in them. It might be an emerald, it might be a ruby, it might be, an onyx or whatever. Again, I would absolutely gaga for an onyx ring. Diamonds just scare me. That's going to wind up in the safe, and you're never going to wear it because, for one, I don't want to get mugged. I don't want to have to hurt somebody. I try to avoid these things. I'm trying to be nice. I mean, it's like, but I grew up in Jersey, and, you go in New York, you go in the subways. We knew in the 70s you didn't wear gold chains because they're going to rip them right off your throat. You didn't flaunt that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh. I traveled to Jersey with a friend when this was way back when Craigslist was popular.
Oh.
Bought a motorcycle off of Craigslist, and we ended up in such a bad neighborhood. So
oh, honey, I got stories.
What did he get us into?
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. This is a lovely one. Molavite. Oh gosh, yeah. LED light. Oh gosh, yeah. I such a almost as long as my name. So I've been kind of struggling with this one because I don't know what to call you. Light productions, or I usually pick out one word. Like I still call Lindsay Gray because early in the show it was Gray Wolf Paranormal. So forgive me. There's one gentleman in here. I saw him earlier. I hope he's still here. He's got a beautiful name, but I'm terrible. I'm terrible names, numbers. Unless it's got a dollar sign, I can do dollar sign numbers all day long. But I'm terrible with names. And they get me sometimes with some of these beautiful names they come up with, but forgive me. But he lets me call him Pancake. It looks like Pancake to me. And so I'm not being silly. I'm just, this is my hardest thing.
No.
But I know Echo. I saw the other day they were calling you. It's such a beautiful name. I know a lot, but I know more men called Echo. Actually named that at birth. It's a beautiful name. But two of the people, it's their children. They're children of weather people. And I just thought that was so neat, the Echo. It's weird. But I just think it's a beautiful name. I like that. So this is great. And I love the fact that you put together starter packs. And within that is, of course, the quartz. I see the amethyst there. I see, of course, the stone of love, rose quartz. What is this off to the side? I said jasper. What is that? I can't tell.
So I do have, I think that is jasper and something else right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have the rainbow stones, which, those aren't like, I don't put those in because those are more just and fun.
Right.
And useful is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yep. But they have so many. You know what's amazing? It seems in this wonderful genre, I don't even know what to call it anymore, because it's such a vast subject. If you intertwine that, we know paranormal, supernatural, unexplained, so many different things you can add to this, such a vast subject. But within that, everything seems to be multi-layered in its not just ability but function, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like astrology, so many different ways, because it's all connected in multiple different ways, multiple layers. The afterlife, death and dying, life itself, past life regression, UFOs, interdimensionals, whatever. And for Pete's sake, stones that come from the earth, each one having its own properties. It's mind-blowing if you think about it. But this was even next level to me. Explain this a little bit.
So this chart goes over each of your chakras and what crystal is used to help balance them. Now there are some like that you can switch around, but these are like the main ones that people like use as their go-tos. I personally
Reggie. Hey, Reg. I'm sorry. There we go. Got it. Thanks, Reg. Go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I like for the third eye, a lot of times I use lapis for that. And for the crown, a lot of times I use selenite. But the rest of these are great on here. And something I didn't put on here either, but that goes with this is
red coral for the root chakra, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That one, boy, I don't know why that resonates with me, but it does. Wow.
Yeah. And for the root chakra, you can also use citrine, I think is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, I love citrine. Yeah.
Yes. And I love citrine because it's the stone of abundance. So citrine's one of my favorites. Even just keeping like one of these types of stones from each category, to help keep yourself balanced. When you're balanced in your chakras, you're going to feel it totally different. Your block chakras cause fearfulness, anxiousness, low libido, fear of intimacy, all the way down to poor judgment, bad focus.
Yeah, I feel you. I absolutely feel you. And this is lovely to hear about garnet. It's said to bring love, luck, health, loyalty, and friendship to people who are born in this month. Well, see, maybe that's why I didn't have any of that stuff, because I didn't wear it. That explains a lot right there. And I had some lovely, my sister owned a jewelry store for 35 years. I had some lovely garnets, but it's just felt off for me. I don't know why. I guess I wasn't supposed to have any of those things. It is also the gem that married people traditionally a gift on their second and 18th wedding. Thank you for that. See, this is what I love. I love getting all this info on the side. Throw it out here, guys. And in fact, you know what I'd love to hear, while we're talking and we're going on to the next picture, throw up here what your current favorite gemstone is. I think everybody's go-to for protection and stuff is either tiger eye and amethyst and things like that. But what's your go-to right now? Because we know it changes, our needs change, our auras change, our energy changes. And I believe the gemstones probably change with you, like your spirit guides and like.
Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Everything else. And it's so wild because, you told me a little bit about your Cherokee connection, and it's if you look back, it's such a simple thing and it's such a simple understanding, just to realize that happens, because gosh, they even, a lot of tribes changed their names throughout life as your character changed,
Right.
and that's just something that was a given. And
Yeah.
but again, your guides change with what you need. You might have one you're born with, or two or three that stick with you throughout the whole thing, probably multiple lives, no joke. And then you've got these extra, like these specialists that pop in throughout your life, and they're like, okay, well, this one's going to be okay. We need go get Bert, because he
Yep.
knows what he's doing. He specializes. And what happens here in this life with the living with people with abilities. We were talking about it earlier. It just clicked into my head. This is how we get called to help the ghosts that are stuck, or lost souls, or however you want to put it. Here, I always say ghost and then spirit if somebody's crossed over, because to me it's like they're more into the spirit, where here they're kind of stuck. A lot of people say different, and that's fine. I just use it to keep my head in track, which is a tough deal. But labradorite, there's one we never mentioned. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a different one. True. Now again, also a very heavy stone. Oh, amethyst and moonstone. Yup. Two of my favorites. I missed the quote. Here we go. Now I can catch it. There it is. Yep, Melissa, I agree. Love it. Also found, it's not just the properties of, like, say, the rose quartz, the stone of love. It's why is it the stone of love? The metaphysical properties, the healing qualities, the vibration that they put. It's an amazing thing, man. I mean, there's things that you can do for protection, like black tourmaline, wearing it on your left hand, on your wrist with an iron. Why do you think these things, the iron, we've got a couple of people that actually are blacksmith experience in here, and I'm trying to get it to where we can get a full circle iron, like an old horse nail, bracelet for the left hand, because when you go to these cons and stuff like that, you're around a lot of people. I mean, for Pete's sakes, nowadays Walmart, right?
Right. Oh my gosh, you see attachments everywhere anymore.
Oh, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. People are really getting overrun.
Little boy home from school the other day.
Say that again, honey. I missed it.
My daughter brought a little boy spirit home from school the other day that wanted to be crossed over, but he followed her home.
Amazing. But again, like I just said, this is what happens here. So if the spirits and spirit guides and, everybody's like, Kumutsin or whatever you call it over there, and communicating back and forth. And I know they get involved because, again, right now, because we're all together and you guys are connected, and, you're having chats over here, and you're connected and throwing information back and forth and laughs and giggles. And that's great. But that means that you're connected. So at the same time, who's ever with you is with them. And that's totally possible. And, if you go to see a medium and you go with your best friend, her people are with your people. They're talking, and what do you? I'm just going to wait my turn. I'm here. I'm just coming along with the ride. She's going to do all the talking, because the strongest energy you
get first.
Right? Is that not true?
It's absolutely true. I've had that where I've had friends that were all wanting readings. It was a group of 3 friends. And every single one of them had a spirit knocking on the door, like, hey, I'm here. I was like, come on, guys, just one at a time. Let me get through each person.
Yeah. Line up, give it a chance, and again, this really happens. And it's so funny. We were talking about this, like last week, I had a couple of guests, just wonderful guests in the past couple of months coming on here. So it's hard to remember from who, but talking about how that's what you have to do. You kind of have to line them up and go, okay, I can't everybody at once. I mean, these people who have abilities that work in hospitals, need to say more, schools, you can imagine, and again, like I said, we are way past the point of, the people, and God bless them, because they're just trying to understand and they don't know. Just like anything else, they'll say, I don't understand how my house could be haunted. It's brand new, and I'm like, oh God,
like, you put it on the ground though, so the ground's not brand new.
Yeah. And you're not brand new. I mean,
Right.
you in your work deal with cords that are connected to people. And can you talk
Yeah,
a little bit about that? The cords, and the cutting of the cords, and that's also something that you do. I think that's so important.
absolutely. So everybody has cords that attach to other people, whether it's something
Hmm.
going from somebody you're connecting with
Yep.
or something connecting to you. But it's very important to cut and remove those cords because you don't want every person you've ever been connected to you. It's just not a good situation.
It's so true, and people don't realize these people that are just going out and no, I got nothing against sex, but let me tell you something. You're exchanging energy.
Yes. And
There's a reason you get yourself cleansed, you cleanse your stones, you cleanse yourself, and you've got to go through and cut these cords because now you've got a little bit of that DNA. I'm not joking.
right,
You've merged energies. This is a powerful thing used in
they can really
every kind of
drain.
ritual and black magic and
Yeah.
white magic, and it's undeniable. It's
Yeah,
all
they
part of it.
drain your own energy too and cause you physical problems as well.
Mhm.
There's a practice that I use for a lot of my clients. That's a simple everyday thing you can do.
Yes.
So when you're getting your shower, at the very end of your shower, if you turn it on cool to cold, whatever you can tolerate,
Mm,
um, and you just picture that the bathtub is just a bright gold light,
mhm,
and that while you're washing, all the negativity is being washed away. All the cords that do not serve you are being cut and wiped away. Then
mm.
once you turn on that cool water, you put your arms down by your side, you just relax and do some deep breathing, 10, 15 seconds. But during that time, you want to imagine a blue flame surrounding you and the water being gold energy flowing on you. The blue flame will burn everything negative and all the
Oh,
cords
cool,
away,
cool.
and the water will replenish your energy.
That's lovely. That's
Yeah, and
lovely.
that's something
I tell one about imagining, especially, putting your hands up against the wall and just letting the water hit you in the face. Some people have to have the more what's the word? Tact. They got to have it touching them. You know
yeah,
what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely.
And,
The tactile,
feeling the water with your eyes closed. I mean, and imagining the water, warm water is like golden light, coming from source and going through your body, and just imagine it going through your whole body and just washing out anything negative. Only positive can remain, going
yeah,
down your arms and out your fingers. And especially so important if you can concentrate and get all the way down your body into your feet and imagine it going down the drain and circling the drain. Visualize this. Visualization, manifestation, intent, and you doing this. And I'll tell you something, if you ask your spirit guides for help before you do this, I really need help to concentrate. If you could, help me calm my mind, if you can, whatever, call in all that love. Why not? Call in the love, call in your, whatever. I mean, they don't care you're naked. It's okay. You're the only one that cares. So
right,
call in all that and imagine that golden light going over your body. And, that's a great one for the guys because they want it simple, basic, and to the point. You know what I mean?
yes,
But it is
exactly.
important for these chords. What she's describing is an even deeper one. I also heard of another where, you know, uh, for those of us that feel comfortable with archangels, and you as well, you should, because they belong to everybody. Nobody's
Yeah,
got the monopoly on angels, I assure you. This I
right.
know. As much as animals have souls, I feel it to be. This is 100% truth. And again, tinfoil hat. I've heard that all my life. Well, let me tell you something. That tinfoil hat turned into a tinfoil crown a long time ago. Let me just adjust it a little bit. And it's got some really beautiful gemstones in it because, a lot of the stuff that people call me crazy for absolutely has come true, and I'm, metaphysical and otherwise. So, it sounds nuts, but it works if you visualize it. Am I telling the truth?
Yes, absolutely. Visualization
Hmm.
is do almost all of my
Love you,
work.
Ted.
So
It's so cool. It's so cool. But I love this. She couldn't keep her colors inside the lines, so she drew new lines. I love it. And that's what you got to do. Think outside the box. Everybody here, our lovely family here, is called gatekeepers. And they picked that because, of course, journey through the gate, you're standing at the gate, they're guiding people. You want them to walk with you, they'll talk with you, and you tell you what they know, or they'll tell you they don't know. We're just here as mile markers to help each other along our journeys, and that's simply it. And we're just supposed to do it a little bit better this time. Whatever we came here to do, whether you're a brief infant that just came into the life of whoever they touched for that brief moment, they chose that. They had one more thing to do, something they had to go through. The person that, went through this, or the person that's going through that, you know, I don't know how much detail we pick out, but I do believe we pick out big, big milestones, like crossing a big river that we have to help each other get through. Like my dad, the story of my dad. When I realized that, I was able to let go of all that anger. I sat at the table, rare chance to sit around with my family, which is all over the place. It's just been crazy over the years. But, every once in a while, it's a rarity that everybody be, in the same place, the survivors anyway.
Right.
All my siblings are much older than I. And to sit there and get pieces of this life that we all are connected to with, our shared parents and stuff. It's insane. The devastation still on a 70-year-old man's face to look back at what he went through in that farmhouse, his vantage point. What did he see? Did he see the ghost? Did he think he was crazy? Was my dad feeding off the energy and the negativity of this angry ghost who was just lost? And Lord knows what he went through in the Revolutionary War. Did he die there? Was he captured? Was he held what was his story? And I believe he just wanted his story told. And so many times, so many cases you've been on, so many things you've been through, same type of things. But the amazing thing to me is that this energy is so profound throughout every single story, whether it's the ghost connected to you because of your energy, because of that moment you're going through in your life, they recognize that energy and it's similar, or whatever it may be. It's an amazing subject. And it's intertwined throughout the entire thing, like the tight thread that holds this intricate tapestry together is love and energy. Love, energy. And that's like the main thing that holds everything together. All the other threads, some are tighter than others, and some we pull on and just ruin it for everybody. And some, some are, are tight and in place, but I think some things we can pull on in our if we choose to come back and do things that can change. Most mediums and psychics will tell you, they're telling you what's perceived in the future at this time, but we're in control and we can change it. A lot of times we just warn, right?
Right. Well, and that's the thing with doing cards for people is some people want multiple readings, but you can't do a reading every day because your path is changing daily. So doing it every day is going to suit you because the same things will come about, but it's not going to be the same. And then you're going to be all over the place. You have to you're told and go with it and just make those decisions.
Love that.
And use that as a background guide, not a foreground guide. Some people get so wrapped up in what we do and our gifts that they think that they should, it's the more the better, but it's not always the more the better for us.
Right.
Not that we do it and don't want to help you, but it's just not always a good thing. So
it's just like the prayers that people say are unanswered, honey. They're not unanswered, whatever. And again, we're not talking religion here. We're talking about throwing energy out. It obviously makes a difference. Please don't tell me it doesn't. I've laid hands on people and seen them, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was a combination of the energy all spoken for that person in the medically proven, paperwork from a doctor coming in. And basically on paperwork, his assessment was this person had 15% chance of making it. 2 people who loved him went in that room and took every prayer, every energy, every good vibe, every good wish, everything that was spoken and thrown into the universe, in that person's name and gathered it with intent and put it right on him.
Right.
He went up to 85%. Explain it to me, because an entire medical staff at a trauma hospital couldn't explain it to me. So if you want to tell me that energy doesn't have power, when you can hear something like that, hear the sincerity and the truth in what I'm telling you, that your energy, when you're in the car and you're grieving and you're missing somebody, they are right there with you and they want to reach out and tell you, I'm right here, I'm okay. And they don't have a bridge. And that's when people like people in the chat with abilities, our wonderful guest here, this lovely woman who reaches out and uses her energy to heal. You know, it's an amazing thing. All light grounders, light keepers, light workers. You know, and it's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Yeah, it's the most important time for light workers right now, because
absolutely
we need that light energy. And even people who don't think gifted, that positive energy to be put out, because
that's it.
The world needs it more than ever. And whether you have gifts or not, there's people whose energy heals the earth. I'm not a healer. I'm a healer of people's energy. So, again, talking about people having different gifts, we all have different gifts, but we need all of that love and light out in the universe.
And we do. And none of us are perfect. Like I tell you, I what did I tell you? My number one thing is anger. I idle at a 90. I do. That's the truth. Look, I'm Cherokee Lenape, Scottish redhead, born and raised in New Jersey.
I'm an Irish redhead, so.
So, and we're constantly, we're talking about road rage, just road rage, trying not to, I'm not even supposed to feel this way. You're not even supposed to think it. It's insane how you are responsible for what you think.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Whoa, and again, but think about it. Why would the universe make that something that was so profound? Think about why would the universe do that? Because you're not ascending.
Yep.
Somebody got in a little thing with me, and if you're in here, I didn't take it as I love this. When you put in the comments and you say something, you ask me to explain. Sometimes I'm not that eloquent in being able to explain, but I try. And somebody asked me, I said, forgive. I said I can forgive somebody. It's harder to forgive myself for things I've done. I'm like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? But you gotta empty those pockets. You got a big old trench coat, or think about it as Marley and his chains and his tin boxes coming to see Scrooge. However you got to visualize it, empty the shit out of your pockets. All that negative stuff, the regret, the jealousy, what does it matter? What does it matter what he drives or what she did? I saw a movie. It's popped into my head, so somebody's got to hear it. It's called Poker Face. It is brand new. I believe it's God, somebody help me.
I don't know that.
Gosh, hold on. It's Gladiator. I can name the actor, the movies he's in. It's somebody in my chat's going to get it. I have Black Op mods are going to come up with it. Gladiator. Oh gosh, Rob Roy. Gosh. What was that ship movie? Okay, it'll be coming up. We have a delay. We have a big ship. They're in a big ship. They're on the water. There was a storm. I was kind of good. It was a period thing. They weren't pirates. They were explorers. Oh, somebody. Right. Thank you. Oh God.
Somebody got it.
It hurts. It hurts sometimes. It gets stuck. It gets stuck like when you swallow a chip. Did you ever swallow a chip? And it's like it gets stuck in your head and it kind of stings a little bit. Russell Crowe. Okay. So the name of the movie is Poker Face. Russell Crowe. Fantastic job. Set in Australia, I believe, for our Aussies out there. Wonderful job. A lot of movies are being made in different places now. Wonder why. So anyway, Russell Crowe, a lot of indies coming out, and those are the good ones because the people making them haven't lost their connection to source and their creativity and their imagination. Again, wonder why. So Russell Crowe, it's beautiful. It's not as deep as The Ravine, but I think you'll like it. There is some shooting. but it's this man who, I don't want to give the whole thing away. It ends different than you think, and it's quite the lesson. And I honestly believe the biggest lesson is forgiveness. But there's one moment in there where two people really did him wrong. In anybody's idea of right and wrong and being betrayed, you talk about having the knives in your back through many lives.
Yes.
They gather, they're in there like Caesar. And he looks across there and wishes them well, and gives them compliments, it's absolutely. And at that moment, if nothing else gets you, that does, I mean, it's just one thing after the other. But that's like the hardest thing. You talk to people that have NDEs and they go back and they have to judge their own lives because you judge yourself, which is the hardest thing. And in front of, insert your ethereal being here. You do it in, with your higher self, you do it with your loved ones or whatever, whoever you need, because God, if you're alive and they're sending you spirit guides as you need them with specialties, don't you think they got the other side figured out? Like it's going to be chill.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Somebody's got the wheel here. I mean, let's hope it's not, driver's permit, but apparently somebody's got, because you see, look, you know what does it for me? Little things like that. And like, I don't care how many abilities you have. I don't care how many people you cross over or able to help, living or dead, because many of us help the living as well as,
yes,
it's people, right?
Yep.
So, and we can't do it for ourselves.
No,
that one blew me away. I'm like, somebody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's the little things. Isn't that funny what sticks with you and convinces you and pulls you over the fence? Like, okay, there goes the leg, Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm no more a fence straddler. I'm all in. Happened to me a long time ago. And I was just like digging the ride. It's just like, that's why this train just goes where it needs to go. And sometimes we pull over, sometimes it jumps the tracks, sometimes we get a little stuck, but it's okay. We never completely lose steam, because this subject is mind-blowing. Now, these are some of the tools you use, and I just wanted to mention, I put a couple of pictures in here with yours about the meditation. Now, don't get all tied up in knots if you can't meditate. Now, here's the deal. I believe, and then I'm going to get a vantage point here from somebody who knows what they're talking about. I believe that meditation is different for many people. Do what makes you feel good. I don't care if you're potting plants or tomatoes outside or in the house or dancing barefoot in your kitchen, singing into a spoon. I don't care if you're sewing or crocheting or driving and listening to a podcast or working on an old car. Meditation's different. If you can't sit cross-legged like a little zen, like all little frogs and stuff and all little kitties and stuff we saw, don't get yourself bunched up about it, because the Dalai Lama has a hard time and admitted to it. Many people, you can't stop your brain. So find a way that maybe doesn't stop the thoughts, but maybe can more focus them, which is why visuals and things work, I believe. Even if it's a beautiful mandala that's just, or a beautiful drone footage or something, everything helps, right, honey?
Yep. Well, and there's a couple ways if you want to do a quiet meditation. There's a couple ways to deal with those intrusive thoughts, because a lot of us our brains don't turn off. But here's where visualization comes back into key, is you let the thoughts come, but you kind of watch, see the words just float past your head. So you see them, but you just let them keep going.
There you go.
And people are comfortable with that. If not, like you said, heck, I dance around my kitchen to loud music. I play loud music while I clean, and that's one of my big things. Music in the car.
Yeah. And too, guys, I used to think people were crazy when they said that certain music, it's not good for you or whatever. I have a lot of people that love heavy metal and things. I'm not saying anything about anything like that. I'm talking about vibration. I mean, my fine tune for vibration got so bad. I mean, when we used to listen to the news, which you no longer do, I could tell. I'm in my studio in the back of the house. I could tell my husband turned on not just the TV, but what channel it was on, not by channel, but what show, by the vibration through the house. If you don't think that's affecting people, if you don't think that these cell phones and the 5G and for Christmas sake, the birds were trying to tear it down. Think about this. But it also works on more intimate things for sure. Like, tell me what you feel about this. Accepting phone calls from someone you know is going to drag down your energy, whether it's an ex or that person that just gets, and you just, once you're accepting that energy. It's a physical thing, almost like why we caution with Ouija boards and deviation, and not that it's bad. Know what you're doing. Understand the tool. What do you think about that? So accepting the energy into your day.
Well, and that's the thing, that you really have to make a choice. And I just had to let go of somebody that I was supposed to be really close friends with, but she was an energy sucker. And it just,
energy vampire.
Yeah, where I just absolutely dreaded. And she had been around long enough that she knew what she was doing to a point. She may not in the extent, but she used me on other levels as well. And what the good she did in our relationship didn't outweigh the bad. So I ended up having to make that choice that I have to shut down. I can't do those negative energies.
Right. It's hard. They're draining. It's so draining.
My ex-husband, I don't have a choice but to talk to him because we have 3 kids together. But with him also having our negative energy, I try to do that as little as possible. And we only really talk about the kids. So
right. But there's another opportunity for these little tests and these little things, because again, I am a firm believer that the more you reach out, whether you're recognizing a sign from spirit, like a picture moving or a penny being dropped with a date, or whether it's the feather, the gossamer feather that, in your locked car, or whatever it may be, angel numbers, as soon as you start recognizing these things, they come more fast and furious because they know you're paying attention, and more things will happen. So try this little test. If you're going to get a call, because now almost everybody can tell who's calling.
Yeah.
If you're getting a call, I can feel it. I'm telling you right now, I can feel it. If it's like, oh gosh, this is good. And even sometimes before it comes.
Oh yeah.
Because you think of them, that's coming really sharp now. But I'll start, believe it or not. all my ability things work really pretty sharp. It's just the day-to-day normal human crap that tangles me up in knots. So but before you get it, visualize yourself, let it ring a hot minute, and wrap yourself in a golden light, bright gold bubble. It sounds so silly, but do it and say nothing negative can come through, and only positive. And I'm going to keep that shield up, because it's so easy to close your eyes and visualize while you listen to this, and to make sure you put extra layer against that ear or talk on speaker or whatever. But imagine that's there. Now, I used to go into work and do this right before I went into work, because it was this one chick, and it would be like, oh, they left all the pallets and stuff. It's going to be so much harder now because, we have to put all this stock out, or, this 3 people called in and said, whatever negative crap it was always negative. Put them in this bubble, and I'm just really putting it on. And she comes up and she starts to get ready to say something, and literally just forgot what she was going to say, and turned around and said good morning and left. I couldn't believe it. So you keep doing it. But the more you do that to block that energy from the schizo that's calling you, and you just have to because you're related or something, you have to take it. But if you block that and go, no, I'm not accepting that energy today. I know people, multiple, all day long. If you don't want to be in contact with the person, why are you on their social media seeing what they're saying to these other people? And
exactly.
You want the chaos.
Right. You want drama.
You want the drama. You want it. Don't sit here and say you different, because it's a fact.
Another thing along with the bubble, you can do the bubble for yourself and for other people. I do the bubble for my children before they get up in the morning
Oh, I
and
love that.
when they go to bed at night. But also, let me see, can you guys
giving your children tools? Absolutely.
if
Oh,
you
that's
can see that,
beautiful.
that is
Oh, I love that. Oh, it's
that's
beautiful.
the New Roman scapula. So it's it used to be the purple sash that went across the shoulder. Now it's in a cross form. I always wear that, and I have an intention set on it to block people's negative energy and
Love it.
return to the universe.
Oh,
And
it's
so help.
almost like a mirror, like again through other cultures in hoodoo, voodoo, and different magics. I mean, even in chaos magic has a similar thing with it, where it's like a mirror spell.
Yeah.
Basically, anything that comes at you goes right back to them, a boomerang. Just go on back, but you don't want to wish them, again, my hard thing is the justice thing too. Go ahead.
Yeah, but now that's why I have the intention set for it to go to the universe, because I don't want to send it. I don't want to send negative energy back. I want to get rid of it.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
if you set an intention on a crystal necklace, a crystal you wear,
Love that.
even just, this is a bought for me by my best friend at the Vatican and was blessed by the Pope. So that's why I use this one, because it was special to me.
Right.
But that's, you can use, just about anything. And actually for my daughter, I bought, all three of my older daughters have protection crystals.
Yep. Here's mine. And honey, if I tell you the story on this, it's gonna set your night. I'm telling you right now. I feel like I should tell you. I know some of the people in the chat have heard this, but if you're new here, dig this. I'm Gettysburg. And I'm there. It's one of those where I was called. Every time I tried to stop, Spirit would send me something. I promise, trust me on this.
Yeah.
I go, and I'm big on vets. I'm a soldier, leave no man behind. To me, ghosts who are stuck in, very similar to what you explained about the cage of their own keeping, their own thing. So much of that there. So much of those that have crossed and come back because they know their buddy is stuck there or whatever. A lot of times they can't see each other. Yeah, a lot of times they can't even see each other, but they're there with that longing, and you feel that as well. So I stopped off. I went across the street to the Gettysburg Cemetery there, right where Lincoln did the Gettysburg Address, that one.
Yes.
And I'm there, and there's this spot, and it's got unknown soldier plaque for every war. It's in a pie shape. And it's quite the thing to walk around, because you think of the, for what? Oh my gosh. It's just so much, the tree of liberty and all, the blood of patriots. So, honorable people, and you could feel the energy. There's so much. So, I didn't know what to do. I'm very big at changing the energy and throwing stuff out there, and you're trying to think what area you're dealing with at this time. I've got everybody. So I just picked this, the Lord's Prayer, and did kind of a non-denominational energy, not cleansing, but a love thing, just, I'm here to honor you. I know what you did. You're not forgotten. Here, take this energy. So as I'm walking away, it's getting dusk. The place closes at, dark. And I'm figuring I got to hurry up. We got somewhere to go. And my sons were out outside of the gate. October, Halloween night. Leaves blowing in the streets. Just imagine, and I turn and I feel this hand on my shoulder, and I think it's a guard getting, like, you got to go, man. We got to lock the gate, because they're intense. So I turn, no one there. Okay. First thing, when I turn back, I look and I see my son kind of kicking something in the leaves, and the other one's like got a map. And he bends over and he picks something up, and he kind of looks at it funny, and he looks up at me, and I thought he had found a rock, because I'm a rock collector. Who isn't?
Right.
And so I'm like, oh gosh, no, everything belongs to them. We don't take anything up. Oh, me, I'm covered in them. Look, I'm all over the place. So all over. And that's my souvenir, I get, but not in a place where we're, hallowed, again, everything there belongs to them, period.
Yeah.
So, he starts walking towards me. I'm walking a little faster now because, there's no one there. I guess a hand on my shoulder, and I'm like, okay, I'm going. I figure I'm being thrown out for being a loudmouth. And he's walking up to me. He puts out his hand and said something similar to, they said, this is for you. Something along those lines. And I looked down. I had just did the Lord's Prayer. That was the last thing I did. And that's when I walked away, the hand. And he hands me a sterling silver crucifix, if you guys can see.
Oh, that's amazing.
How did he even see it in the leaves? He had a feeling. Now, they have abilities too, and they're coming into them. And boy, if they ever got them, they'd be more than I've ever been.
Yeah,
because I know this, but men come in different. Everybody in their own time. But so it's just the cross. Now, again, if this had been in the cemetery on a plot, I would have never for $1 million touched it. But it was outside, and they said, and I'm blown away. And I look back, and you could see, oh, what a sweetie. Oh, we love fur babies here. I hope mine come up and say hi. What's his name?
This is Casper. He's my service
dog. Hi, Casper. Hi, baby. Welcome to Journey Through the Gate. Oh, Casper, what a perfect name for the show. Look, oh, gosh. Send this baby some bacon, everybody. Throw some love up here for this darling. So he says this to me. They said, this is for you. What do you mean? Well, it was kind of like a voice in my head, and I'm like, and he doesn't want to, he's kind of backing away, like, just, here, Mom, this is for you,
Right.
And he's like, well, I shoot out of there. We go on, we're walking, and I'm going, I can't believe this, and I said, I guess this is meant to be. And I'm talking to my other son, and I tell him what happened. And Mom, you got to keep it. So we went through all the due diligence of, lost and found and all that stuff and calling, and nobody ever claimed it. So finally I gave in. Now, shoot to one of my classes. I'm doing psychic development classes with the same medium. I talked to my dad with his head down. Now it's up, and talking to my mom. We're doing psychometry in the envelope. Bring something. I never have my homework. I go in and like, shoot. I've always had this in my medicine bag all the time. And I'm like, I got something for the envelope. Take it out of my medicine bag, slide it in. Nobody sees me. Plain envelope. Everything's on the table. Random grab. You sit down in the chair in front of the person, and you start telling them what you feel. She says this, and I quote, "This is really strange. Am I going crazy?" She goes, "All these men in uniform keep popping up. I can't tell you what uniform. Some of them look like they're, maybe back before the war, but like really early, like I'm like World War I or like back. And she goes, some of them maybe revolutionary. She goes, I'm not really on, but different uniforms, different periods of time. I'm like, what? She goes, they just keep coming up smiling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm trying to poker face. I'm like, okay, do you see anything else? She says, yeah, she goes, I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting this right. She goes, I'm getting something. It's like she goes, it's silver. It's a pure metal. She goes, I can feel it. She's of the earth. And I'm like, go on. She says, I'm getting across. She goes, wait, this is, and she literally opens her eyes and looks up and then looks over. She says, they're all around us. And I said, what? She says, I don't know if I'm getting this right. It was a gift? She goes, no. It was a gift from Spirit. They gave this to you to protect you for what you were doing that night. What did you do? And I said, I went out in the middle of the field at midnight and crossed a bunch of soldiers that had been stuck there 150 years. She goes, that explains it.
Oh,
still right here on my neck, babe. So if that's not protection, and this is my basically my brother I just lost in October, Dickens McGee. They know the story, but my cat's 17 years old, man. And one of the most lovely gifts I got is his portrait in sterling silver. I'm a silver girl. Aren't we? The gemstone people, we're all silver people.
The only reason I even have pain is because it was my grandmother's, but everything on it is silver.
Well, see, that's the thing. even in cultures, Native American, all the way through tribal, all that, because it's a useful metal. It kicks you when, they try so hard to do these Native American movies. Avatar was great, if you wanted to call that kind of sort of Native American-ish kind of movie, the feel was, but, like Pocahontas and stuff like that. But, they got a couple things right. Like when they came over and asked for the valuable thing that comes out of the ground.
Right.
And, our representative slices came out with, corn. Because that was the yellow thing that came out of the ground that was valuable. Gold's too soft. And gold might be a conductor for certain things, but copper, silver, much more for gemstones and things like that, which is why I take care when I'm wrapping them and stuff. But, brass, I'm more of a brass, copper, silver, with the gemstones, because they also have to breathe. You don't want to put your gemstones in and lock them up. And you want to tell us a little bit about cleansing. I have a couple more slides here, and I didn't even ask you, but we got talking on something. But, here's some gemstones here. Of course, sage. And, again, sage isn't for everything. Your real negative entities out there, something like dragon's blood or whatever. Sage is a cleansing maintenance kind of thing. It's not a one and done kind of deal. And it sometimes it's just, it neutralizes the energy, but the really strong stuff is just going to go outside till things chill out, and then they're going to come back. So know what you're doing. Every tool has a rule, right, baby?
Absolutely.
So you also do healing through tarot and other stuff as well, right? Now, this is what you wanted to tell us about here with this is the necklace that you have. And again, what is that called? It's beautiful.
Yep. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, St. Christopher, some people might be wearing a gemstone that they've blessed, black tourmaline. Again, like we said, the iron bracelet on the left hand, because why? You want to tell us why the left hand for those who don't know?
It's connected to the heart.
Mm-hmm. And it's also where you're drawing energy in, and this is where you put it out, and a lot of times they're doing a lot of negative stuff. They draw a lot of negative out of the air. They throw it back at you. That's why we call a lot of really powerful, people that have really honed their abilities, but more for the dark side. We call them left-handers because they don't even have to think it. They just do this and it's done.
Yeah.
And that's something scary to go up against. It's, you could beat them with the light, but you're going to have a battle.
Yeah. And that's thing they do when you're expecting, so that's always fun.
Yeah, so true. Now this, I kind of don't feel like I stalked you, but I was looking for some stuff on your Facebook, and this lovely lady had posted these things just in the past couple days. I loved both of them, so I shared. And it says, be like a tree, stay grounded, connect with your roots, turn over a new leaf, bend before you break. Oh gosh. Enjoy your unique natural beauty. There's something we have to remember. Enjoy your unique natural beauty, and appreciate what you are now, what you've been through. You are a combination of every step you've ever taken on your journey. Just revel in it. It's an honor to be here. I'm telling you, it's true. Keep growing. So important.
Yeah, that one's a good one for grounding too. When I posted this, I was thinking about, grounding my personal self too, and being like a tree, that you keep your feet planted to the earth, even when you're not touching the earth, to keep your energy balanced and to keep
so important. Yeah. And it's like the tree of life in your logo. Yep. Again, I make tree of life. I use gemstones and crystals and, now all natural crystals. I don't use plastics. I don't do these plastic dream catchers with these dyed feather things. I try to do traditional stuff of the earth. And that's when your dream catchers and things, when we make those, I don't know if you know this tradition. And again, when you say Native American or you say Cherokee or Lenape or Navajo or, Creek, it doesn't mean that every tribe has this tradition. It's just, people look different at the dream catcher and they'll tell you they made it as a mobile that hung over the baby. But again, it can be deeper and it's your intent. Now, how I was taught, the dream catcher is made of the earth. So you're bending vines to make the wheel, the circle. You're doing sinew, which is tendon of an animal. Is the most, how bows were made, the string and the bow. So much sinew was used. So to make the web. Now the web is that of a spider, and the reason the spider is used is for its tenacity, its stick-to-itiveness. If a spider will spend all this time making this beautiful web, if something plows through it, a bird flies through it, it doesn't sit and complain and worry and rub all its little 8 legs together and just, oh, woe is me. It goes back and rebuilds the web. Yeah. Which is why it's so honored to be told you have spider medicine, or characteristics is what it means, of that spider. It's the way of the spider. You know what I mean? What they're known for. And the building of that. And in the center, if you look at a dream catcher that's made correctly, you'll see a spider with the legs that go out. It's part of the thing. Now, as you dream, this is hung over the bed, usually of a newly married couple in their new home, a new tent, whatever, wigwam, whatever, your longhouse, whichever. And it's gifted, not sold or traded. It's gifted with that person in mind. And every knot that is tied has a prayer in it, a prayer, an energy, a wish for that person. It's made for that person with intent. There it is again. And then beads, usually if in a perfect world, that person needs to, like strength or turquoise, to always remind them of home, because if they're going on a new journey or moving into a new place with a new family or whatever, it's very, very it's as spiritual or as nonsensical as you want to make it. And I think a lot of these things are. Yeah. And I think so many people miss that, you know. It really is. If you've got somebody that comes up and just shrugs it off and goes, you know, it used to be a baby mobile. Well, that's what it was to them. But that doesn't mean that all of these people that sat and made these things, you have to understand that, you know, people put so much into it. You have to gather all this stuff and, you know, and we've forgotten those things in this push button world. And I think that's one of the big problems. One of the big problems. There's something to be said for a ritual, whether it's a Japanese ritual of pouring tea, or in the UK having tea time and, you know, and biscuits, and actually just sitting down and socializing with the other person or the room of people. All of this has an energy and a place. You know, why do you think they want you separated and not socializing and not doing what we're doing tonight, talking about how powerful you are and how all that light comes from you, and the entire the energy of the universe is within you and in each of us, and that's how we're connected. Do you agree?
Absolutely. 100%.
This I thought was so powerful. Maybe you're not healing because you're trying to be who you were before the trauma. This is so important for tonight's show. That person doesn't exist anymore because there's a new you trying to be born. Breathe life into that person. Powerful statement. And this really sums up all of the healing you do and how you reach out to your clients, as it's perfect for that. Now, here again, another level of gemstones connected to your zodiac sign. And is this a different calendar? I mean, this isn't like the traditional when you get the calendar from the gas station or the pharmacy down the thing, and it has January is carnation and garnet. This is something different. How was this one chosen?
Yeah, this one was chosen by its energy. I use that's how I pick my tools. Because I have to admit I have a problem with Pinterest. Pinterest and I love-hate relationship. It's a rabbit hole.
It is. Honey, don't tell me. I worked at AC Moore for 10 years. I'm here to tell you. I'm going to cut you off, but I'm going to throw this in because it's just funny as all get out. 10 years, I taught at AC Moore, taught jewelry, many things, many crafts, many arts, many things. And people would come in and say the craziest stuff. You'd never believe it. But, you know, people, it's just amazing the things that people don't pay attention to and don't want to. It's just like I said, it's basically comes down to a misunderstanding of things and people just not wanting to put in the time and just getting caught up in things like Pinterest and stuff like that, which is cool. If you're planning a wedding and you want to go through, we knew what kind of bouquets we were going to be asked to make. We knew that if something come out on Pinterest, we better have that up front and center because people are going to come in and when those adult coloring books went off the charts. Holy crap. I've never seen anything like it. Perfectly normal, well, adults that are driving, think about that, coming in and paying $12.99 for coloring books a piece and walking out more than one usually, and crayons, and they have to be the right markers, and they're losing their minds over this crap. And then the next thing is this dot sparkle thing that you're putting all the tiny little gemstones on the thing, and they're knocking you down. And don't even get me started on a friggin' rubber band shit. That was nuts. Grown adults coming in crocheting rubber bands together to make jackets for the prom and stuff.
Yes.
But the best question I ever had was when they came in and they asked me for do you have adult coloring books for children? So, ma'am, do you hear the words coming out of your mouth? I said, I have children's coloring books if you'd like those. No. That's not what and now you're going to be stupid and snotty to me. Don't. Say it again. I want to hear you say it again. Can you repeat that, please? Adult coloring books for children. And I'm like, I wanted to say, man, we don't sell porn, but I needed to keep that minimum wage job. But man, Pinterest, but if someone come out, these Looney Tunes, man, lady come in and says, I'm the new kick. They're making lights for around the pool. Now, think about this. They're making lights around the pool. They're taking wine bottles. Because God knows, I don't know what this wine craze is, but just saying.
The wine bottle craze, it's all over the place.
They're drinking a lot of wine. They're packing it in. Because, the churches were closed and the gyms were closed, but the liquor stores were open. I'm just saying. So,
yeah, absolutely true.
Just saying. And so, anyway, they come in and they're buying the washers and the nuts and the thing and the what do you call the wicks for like the tiki torches and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're putting kerosene and oil and all this other stuff in there, and God knows what 100 proof vodka. I don't know what the hell. And they're hanging them around the pool over the concrete. And I'm like, ma'am, you do know you're making Molotov cocktails, right?
Right. Oh my God.
Dude, for the love of all that's holy, if you get the wrong washer and that fire goes to, what are you doing? It's like Pinterest makes you nuts.
Yeah, it really does.
It has this good spot. I didn't mean to take you off track like that, but man, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's too funny, but man, I love this. So they're put together with energy. So for myself, January 14th, Capricorn, what by this chart, what would I be drawn to? What would be drawn to? Now, in this case, it would be like what I would need for.
I don't feel like you're definitely.
I don't either. Never have.
I feel like you've got more Aquarius to you. To be
I'm a wackadoo, man.
Because my son is a cusp baby. He's the 22nd of January.
Mm-hmm.
But I can definitely see more Capricorn in him and a little bit of the Aquarius.
Yeah.
Full blown Aquarius. But for this, I mean, obviously amethyst, but I think with you, to me, you feel more of a jade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really drawn to jade too. Yeah,
and that
really
does
white jade for me,
doesn't it? Or is that Gemini?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't. You're out of my wheelhouse. But I love these because again, like tiger's eye. Resilience, courage, power.
Yeah.
Gemini, Leo, Capricorn. Again, I love tiger eye.
And
I
you
love
don't
amber
see very often for anything. So I like that fluorite's actually on this chart.
Yes, true. Yeah. I agree. I have some great pieces of fluorite. Let me tell you guys, when I get rolling here, get everything set and everything, I'm hoping this move, I feel a move coming and all this other stuff. But when I get it all done, I plan on, having like a gemstone of the month and bringing out some of the jewelry I've made with it, some of the trees of life. I make big copper. I mean, honey, honkers, great big old trees of life, all copper and Swarovski crystals.
Oh,
dripping, just dripping, just sparkle, and sold so many. A lot of people that you've seen on TV actually have them in their living rooms and stuff. I mean,
yeah,
it's just, And that's what we're called to do. And you can't tell me that's not a form of meditation. It absolutely is. What you do, same thing. What everybody here, whether it's cooking or whatever, we've talked about that before, whatever
I
refills you. Yeah. Right. So right here, this is the most important thing of the whole night, and I'm sure you'll agree. You have the power of the whole universe stored within you.
Yes, because we all come from the same light. We're all made from that same light, and
we're all
intertwined in that same light. And what you do, that energy, that's where your free will comes in.
There it is. And that's why ask the spirit guides for help. That's why contact somebody who can help you. And, again, tell us, this has been amazing.
Yes.
Wasn't this a fun ride, man? I told you.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed everybody. I've been reading the comments as I can. Next time hopefully I'll have my laptop and my phone working so I can do both at once.
It's fine. It's no worries. Look, the message got out, guys. It was wonderful, wasn't it? I mean, absolutely. Now, I don't want to keep you too much longer because I promised you 2 hours. We're already over that. It went by so fast. I can't believe it. You're coming back. You're coming back. You're coming back. Tell us again. Now, you said earlier where you're based at. Am I to understand Maryland?
No, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Border.
West Virginia. Okay. Because I remember for some reason I'm getting Maryland around you. Was this somewhere you lived before that or?
Yeah, I'm from Maryland. I'm originally from Maryland. I'm a Maryland girl.
Okay. I knew it was in there somewhere. I just kept seeing it with you. That's so funny. But but you can do things again, long distance and through email and stuff like that, because there's a lot of people in here suffering. As far as, trauma and PTSD and fibromyalgia and just aches and pains and storms popping out of nowhere and cold blasts and hot waves all the same 3 days, balloons, all kinds of wild stuff going on. We need a cleansing. So please take all of those little things in there. Can they get you on your Facebook? Mods, throw that Facebook down there.
Yes,
and contact you and tell us where to find you.
Yeah, the best way to reach me right now is on Facebook. It's the Marana, or it's Soul Cleansing and Healing by Marana Butts.
Sorry, wrong thing. Go ahead.
And if you message me on there, my phone number is on there, so calls are acceptable too. I get back to people as soon as I can, but I do work. I've done work for people here in the States. I've done work for people overseas. So anybody feel free to reach out, and I can work with any time zone.
I just love it. I just love your hair too. You're just terrific. I'm so glad we met. And I'm hoping you'll come back. You'll get to know everybody in the chat. I mean, guys, it's been amazing. Again, any tool that we can get that's going to help us get through whatever the heck it is we're going through, to keep that light on. There was another one I couldn't get on the thing I wanted to share real quick before we left, if I can find it. I thought it was so important. We throw up silly things here just to make people laugh and stuff like that. And, we dig down, we get serious. I cannot find. Oh, here it is right here. This is what I want my gatekeepers to do. Be a lamp or a lifeboat or a ladder. Help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. Now, there's something to think about. That ties into everything, being a gatekeeper, being somebody on the journey. I don't care if you're sitting on a rock, having a sandwich, eating an apple, chilling, whatever you're doing on your journey, and somebody comes by in your life and drops little things here and, whatever, and you get a little tinge in your mind like, man, we were just talking about that, or, that's like synchronicity, and I should say this. Don't talk yourself out of it. For the love of God, if there was ever a time in this world for you to just speak it and put it out there, shine that light as bright as you can, I think this is the time. What do you think, Marana? I think this is the time.
Absolutely. Every bit of kindness, love, and light and we can throw out there. I mean, sometimes the best gift you can give somebody, even a stranger on the street, is anywhere from a smile to a glance of hope. Thank you, Echo. Thank you, guys. I'm seeing some of the comments popping up.
Here we go up here. Yup. But we absolutely loved having you, honey. And this, again, I say this to people, this will not be the last. You know, we have wonderful Lynn Monet. We're going to get all of us on here. Ted, thank you. Oh my gosh. This is proper money too. I'm telling you, this is in pounds. And just, I love you so much, my friend. You are too kind to us. And he's got lovely fur babies, and they go out on patrol, and it's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. It's for the Funny Honey Fund. My sons gave me for the arthritis. You know, I dabble in herbs. You know, no way do I have a PhD or anything like that, but they've saved my life, basically. Right. I'm one of those in natural healing. And so they got me some Funny Honey, little CBD in there. And I think they think it's quite funny that it hits me like it does. But boy, it helps. And I love them for it. And it's great that we can do stuff like that now. And it's great we have people like you. And I'm going to call you and get a reading. I think it would. Don't you think it'd be fun to knock around inside of this head and talk to some of my loved ones? Because I guarantee they're probably lined up behind me right now going, we got some things to say.
I was going to ask you who the man standing behind you is, because there's been a man standing behind you through the podcast today. So we'll have to figure that out when we talk.
Oh, it'd be great. You know, it's like, does he look like he's okay? Do you think he needs help, or is he just chilling with me?
Good. He's just chilling. Like, he's actually been watching.
Yeah. As long as he's chilling, he doesn't need help, because, you know, it's just like, even
told you a lot sooner.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, that's just the thing, because, you know, we pick up people and stuff like that, and I don't want anybody to ever get stuck. I want them to feel free will. They, you know, look up, connect to your light, do what you need to do. Don't make me call your mother. I swear. I don't mess around. I will go get them and bring them here to take you over. Thank you. Oh, Echo, what a wonderful thank you so much. Love is the way home. One of the most beautiful comments I ever got in the YouTube. And please do that, folks. Please hit the like. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Tomorrow night, we're having the wonderful Steve Stockton. We're talking about the San Pedro haunting. Wonderful evidence in that. And I got to have you back to tell us your experiences. You know, she had childhood friend ghosts and stuff just like me. It's amazing. The synchronicity is off the chain with us. It really is. Absolutely. You know, this has been absolutely lovely. I love you all. So if you did not get to see the video I did, I am going to play it out again so you can leave in a high vibration and light. Thank you, my love, for coming on and spending so much lovely time with us. And I feel like we've barely scratched the surface.
I know. Thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you guys again soon.
You never know who you're going to meet at the bash. Thank you, my love. Bye. Everybody, have a good night. Keep your lights burning. Eat the good cookie. Keep your feet under the covers, your closet door shut, because there are things that go bump in the night. I love you. Keep the love light burning. Good night, sweetheart. Thank you so much. We're out of here. Good night.
Bye.
Hot Mess Express.